All right, so just back from holiday. I wish I could have done a video yesterday, but I mean, it was a romantic holiday, so I can't just do a video like that off the cuff. But I didn't have the equipment, so here I am doing it the day after Trump's victory. What a wild reaction in the markets. I guess it's not too surprising because it wasn't obvious who was going to win, because it wasn't obvious if they were going to cheat. But he won, landslide, no cheating. Which is good. Now, metals took a smash in the face. I guess that's because, well, there's lots of ways to interpret it. I guess it's because the dollar and interest rates went up, number one, because you could say they're going to spend more, but dollar strong. That's kind of the Trump trade. It was at least initially, last time he was elected. The war also premium is probably priced out now. There's going to be peace. Is that the hit that we got in gold? I still think long term we go up. Maybe he delays, maybe Trump being in office delays or just interrupts the chart a little bit. I think Harris would have sent gold higher, or maybe if it was lower, it wouldn't be as much. But let's look at the charts. So dollar just absolutely explodes. It's retraced back to the scene of the crime. I think support is roughly where we are. This is intraday, by the way. So 104.5-ish, I think should be support. Yes, we're trading just below that, but look at this long-term trend line we're retesting. So you could say it's both, In fact, let's just put it there, middle of the road. 104.35 to 104.5 is the same thing. 104.4, let's say roughly. We're there right now. We'll probably go a little higher. And then the next couple of days, what should happen, I reckon, is just go back up, test this, and go higher. And then we'll see what happens. Does it break out and then fade? Does it fade there? I don't know, but I think we are going to go a little higher to 106 at least in the dollar. So I think that continues. Let's look at yields. Yields, same as the dollar, right? Almost the same chart. Look at this, the 30-year. So up we go because, there's going to be more deficits, more deficits, more debt, the usual. I know he's going to cut. He says he's going to cut. And this is something that I'm not too sure about because Elon Musk might take some agency or they'll create a new agency. Maybe what I saw that meme that he posted with Ron Paul, or at least a picture of Ron Paul. Now, when you're talking Ron Paul, that's some serious cuts. So the only way gold goes down, the thesis changes, is if you have peace and serious government cuts, which is what Trump is saying. Now, normally I wouldn't believe him, but they try to whack him, they try to jail him, they try to do everything, and I think he's near the end of his life. So maybe he will do the right thing, or maybe he'll try. Um, so I don't want to just take it for granted that he'll fail at peace. I think he'll actually achieve that, Middle East and Ukraine. And what about cuts? Does he really cut if he's not going to cut social security or the military or, welfare, warfare, or well, warfare he'll cut, I think, but the welfare is by far the greater chunk of the, government spending and debt. So I need to see more details, but normally the debt will go up, so interest rates will go up. So this will retest looking at the 30-year, 4.5 will be support thereabouts, right? Same as the DXY chart. Curl, go back up. This is the 30-year. I don't want to spend too long on this. We want to look at gold and the miners, but 30-year, that's what I expect. Same here. Okay, look here, it actually hit resistance on the long term, but you still got that resistance equals support, kind of go back up, etc., etc. The 2-year, probably the same thing. So yields and dollar up, short, medium. Don't know about long term, but ultra short today doesn't really matter. So you can see where I'm going with that. They just go up. Let's look at gold and silver. Now, gold took it in the absolute face. Big drop. I saw initially, like this was your first support, went straight through that. Your next support, which held for a while, if I remember correctly, to sort of just below 2,700. I haven't changed any of my charts, by the way. I just wasn't able to even get my laptop going. Let's say I was at the Four Seasons, but the internet wasn't great. So is the ascending clear ascending? Look how many times we hit it, right? We hit it here, we hit it here, here again, here again. It's credible. We lose it, we're retesting it now. Is support turned into resistance? This, I could even use this. Is that now resistance? probably. And if we go a little higher, because remember what the DXY and yields are going to do, they're going to go higher ultimately. Even if we're able to muster another day, that will be resistance too, and then go back down. And then we'll see, do we hold, do we fake flush, go back up? We'll see about all that. Maybe you have the dollar and gold going up. Maybe yields, dollar and gold all go up with Bitcoin. You don't know. There'll be new pairings, new partnerships almost, and trends. But I still think resistance will be where we are right now, this second. Let's call it 2,700. So also a psychological number. Um, these horizontals give off the wrong impression. This is your new support. This is your secondary support. This moves to, actually, no, it doesn't. It stays where it is. So gold. Let me get rid of all this potentials and let's cover the levels. There are your levels, right? This didn't happen. Trump was elected, right? So there's your support and resistance. So obviously the all-time high is resistance. The next one will be here. If we even get there, that will take a while. Next one is 2720. That'll be rough where we are, and 2720, that's your resistance. Right, so there. Actually, the X is better. There, that's your resistance. Support will be there, and of course, those two below. So that's gold. For me, that's pretty clear. And I think the Trump trade is done, so to speak. We can go lower, but I don't think we're going to take out this 25-ish, just above 2,500. And that will change as time goes by. But some people are talking about longer term drops. I just don't see it. Is that something? That might be something too, but it's too many lines. Get out of here. The horizontal will do. People talking about 2,500. Nah. I think let's see if you can take out this ascending here, this one here. I don't see that's going to happen. Let's look at silver. So gold, I think, is pretty clear. Silver took a big hit now. Okay, that's your level. That moves actually with time. Very clear. Today was a double bottom. Very clear, just below 31, let's say. That's your support. If we lose it, then you've got this level. It'd be a real shame if you lose the ascending. It could happen, but I don't see it happening. Not this week. Well, the week's almost over. Resistance is going to be your prior support, which was this 32.50-ish zone. This give or take 20, 30 cents. If you go higher, it's going to be 33. That was your breakout, right? So that totally makes sense. It was resistance. It flushed the support. It is now resistance again. And then you got this area here, which will be the ascending by the time we get there. Yeah, that stays. I don't know why I've got so many. And then the all-time high. So there you go. Those are your levels. And remember the level on the way down, just in case. That's gold and silver. Let's look at the miners. We never got there, thank goodness. Um, right, so the miners. Okay, so I'm there logging in with my mobile phone pre-market and I'm unable to get filled. Extremely excruciating because I was looking at my trading view on my little mobile phone screen. I could see my little wiggles in yellow, nice and clear, despite the small screen. I'm used to two massive computer screens at home like I've got now, and I was unable to get filled on my order. I mean, I was not freaking out, but I was looking, minus 6, 7, 8, 9%, thinking, Jesus Christ, you got to buy. I've been in this position many times, got to buy, can't get filled. And as soon as the market opened, there I am on an interactive brokers getting filled on one or two, but the pre-market's not working. I can't get filled pre-market. I never use my phone for trading. I just regret it so much because as you can see, we just, okay, we gapped down, but we opened and just ran. I got filled on maybe six, some of them not off the lows. Today we're going higher, as you can see. I mean, I'll get to my miners real quick. So looking at GDXJ, we opened here. For me, the levels, it was middle of the road. Not on all of them. I think SILJ actually hit the lows, but there were no levels. I mean, gold was doing its thing still, but it was a bit chaotic. So we opened here. I got no levels, particularly for this area, but it had already taken out this level by a lot. So I wanted to buy something. I'll get to my miners because I was trying to buy my miners. But as you can see, middle of the range just ran. Okay, we didn't close a high of day. Today, we're near high of day now. Thing is, yesterday the metals were down a lot. The miners weren't. So actually, yesterday was a very good day. right? It was a down day, but like I recovered three-quarters of my losses by the close. And I'm looking at silver being down 4% and the miners being down less than 4%, whereas they should be down like 8. Yesterday was a very good day, despite being down. Today we keep going up. I think the markets being up helps us, but it's just a bit chaotic. So it's hard to see really all the way everything correlates, metals and yields and dollar and markets. But here we are, we're going to fill the gap, right? So the gap fill should be a level because it was support, it should be resistance, and it's a gap fill. It was a level before being a gap. Next one is here, I agree. Next one there, I agree, I agree. And down here, you've got to, however, include the low of yesterday, the Trump low. So then you've got an extra level of support before you hit down here, which by the way will soon coincide with the ascending. So you've got some decent levels of support identified for the miners. That's GDXJ. Let's look at, and obviously below that are the next horizontals. I don't think we test that this week, so I'll skip through it for now. Yeah, this is what I meant. CILJ actually hit its lows. This is such a clear level. Look at that resistance, support, support, and then again today's support. And that's why that was really annoying. I did get filled on First Majestic. I'm trying to go by memory here. Heckler, I got the low on Heckler. That was the only one. Although Heckler's down today from some bad earnings, so it might revisit it. I got filled on 4 or 5 different stocks, but half of them were not off the absolute lows. Really pissed off that I wasn't able to trade with my computer. I just happened to be on holiday. I would have nailed it yesterday on a lot more. So CILJ, we hit the absolute low of 1240-ish. Then we today have already filled the gap. So uh hmm, hard to say. Well, this is a bit of a level, the support there, and then resistance from that day, and then support today. So I'll leave that. This changes to here, although we have filled the gap. That would have been a resistance for me, but it went straight through it. So I'll leave it like that. All right. I don't need to put a wiggle each time I put a white line, but you can see what I mean, right? So resistance, if we go up here to 1370, that'll be resistance. This will be the next one, etc. This one won't really count that much. It's probably there. That's what I got for CILJ. Let's look at, and then support, of course, if we go down and revisit this low, which would require quite a lot of a drop, 1240, we flush that, we go to the ascending support. So CILJ has a lot of support. And I think silver will also have a lot of support as it goes down. GDX hasn't filled the gap yet. The ascending, I think, doesn't count anymore. Doesn't count, actually. Interesting. So that I thought would have been support. We went lower. Actually, it was because the open was above it. We flushed to the next level. We touched it perfectly, gap filled perfectly. We closed here. Next level is the gap fill itself. So there, this is irrelevant. I think that was me yesterday on my phone or something. Yeah, that was correct. And we hit, yeah, perfect, gap fill. Then this level was where we opened just above, and that's your gap fill. After that, maybe this, not strong resistance. After that, there, and then this, well, I don't know what that is, but we're not going to get there for some time. So there you go. That's what I've got for the levels on GDX. I think Newmont is now going to be a bit stronger after coming down so much. That's before the Trump trade. So that'll probably help GDX. Let's look at the actual miners. Today, Newmont, I bought Newmont yesterday. I bought Newmont. I didn't buy at the low, but I think Newmont is fine. Yeah, so that was the level I'd identified before the Trump trade, and then we started to trade the next level low, which I'd already identified. Here I've identified everything already, so the work has been done. Let's see if we can settle above this 44.5, and then maybe we can work our way up towards 46.40, which is where I've got the next level really. Still a bit of a gap here to fill, but trade. I'm not going to go for this small move. I think Newmont can really make a move all the way back up to the 50s. So I'm happy with my buys. Now I'm just going to let it ride. Newmont has to go back up. This is an exaggeration. I think it was quite good earnings actually. So this minus 25% move is a bit too much. But there are your levels. Let's look at Barrick Gold. Yeah, again today retested a level, and I was on the plane coming back, couldn't get filled. Barrick Gold haven't bought it. since the drop. But yes, this is a level I identified. Obviously, look at this. It's the pre-gap. It's the low from here. Absolute support. Again, today, higher low support. Didn't venture into the gap. If we do go lower, this should be extremely strong support. It's the gap fill. Already, this should be strong in case we flush this gap fill and this ascending. So this will be super strong. I reckon 1750. Next, and obviously we're trading. This is our other support for now. If we go higher, you can see the double top too. Wow, it's quite impressive. It's like the high of yesterday is the high of today, and the low of yesterday almost was the low of today. But otherwise, gap fill 1880-ish, otherwise 19 psychological. I don't know if this is really a level. I don't know. I don't know. I could leave it in. I'll leave it in, but it might really be the gap fill with 1880. I'll leave it as it is. Levels are pretty clearly identified in case you want to take a little screenshot or use it for yourselves. Agnico Eagle, look at that gap fill there. It's completed the gap fill, you could say. So resistance is 85-ish. We stopped today at 84.90. It's the same thing as 85. Next level would be up here. Be impressive if it got there. Although it did have good earnings, I think. And then it's the all-time high. So that's your Agnico Eagle. I'm trying to race through it here today. I got to go back and unpack. The low is the the low of the Trump day plus its ascending support. So that's very clear. That's it really. If we go lower, it's here clearly also. This is probably the clearest level, the minor with the clearest levels of support and resistance. Pan America, this one pisses me off. Couldn't get filled yesterday. Clear goddamn support over here, just above 2050. Already I had a buy in outside of regular trading hours, so pre-market, because I saw it already taken out my level down here. I just wanted to buy it. I think it was like pre-market here, 21 something. I couldn't get filled. Opens, and I'm like trying to perform a normal buy because my outside regular trading hours isn't even fitting, and I just watch it go up. It was really just up and just it just yeah, ran like that. I'm not going to buy that. Well, I should have, but and it's just kept going. I mean, I have a huge position in Pan America, so I'm happy to see it go up. But honestly, that was annoying. But the support level was completely correct. 2050 down here, plus the ascending, super strong. Kept going today, really strong still. This actually becomes resistance. 23, let's call it 15, 23.20 probably. This level is not as obvious. Well, that's your resistance. This I'll delete, I'll replace with something I think is more relevant, probably this area. And then after that, just to be extra tactical, I think 25, just below or just above. I don't know. That's what I've got, just looking at it like that. And then, of course, if you do lose this, it'll be the pre-gap fill down here. We're far from doing that. Super strong Panama. So annoyed to have not been able to trade that. Oh my God, this romantic holiday just anyway. Wheaton flushed down. Look at the ascending line. Perfect. Was clear support. Didn't get this one. I was looking at others. Wheaton just didn't go down enough. But honestly, my levels from last week or whenever I did the last video, absolutely perfect. And for a moment like this, really ideal. Yes, if we lose this ascending, next one's down here. We've got these double tram lines. So I'll leave that there. Where's your resistance? Will normally be there, but actually I think it's like gap fill here. So I'm going to leave it here instead. But otherwise, yes, it would have been a 65, but it might be 64 actually. Well, today it looks like it is. It's still at 64, so it was. If we keep going, then yeah, this area. Completely correct. Nothing to change there. Franco Nevada. Oh my God. Whilst I'm in the plane. So where did it hit? It hit here, 125. And I've missed that. It did quite well yesterday though, didn't it? So this yeah, this prior breakout zone of 130. Not sure that's really resistance anymore. Let's update this. Let's update this. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it like that. Yesterday and then today we're down. Maybe some news because it's supposed to be an update. Anyway, all-time high is resistance. Today's low is support. And in between is not obvious. That's also resistance. I want to leave it, not too sure. And then down here, 118 and then 114. I'm going to leave it not too obvious, so I'll leave it as it is. Um, yeah, I have to read into whether there's news. There are a few earnings out there. Metalla yesterday, because this was your support, right? It was horizontal and ascending. And okay, this ascending I can remove. It's done its job and it was correct. Look at yesterday, it went all the way back up to actually still work with it to prove that the ascending was still support. It no longer is because we've traded below it, let's say, but it still acted as a level, let's say, and horizontally it still acted. And today we're up higher. We're above the Trump trade lows. I mean, yeah, pre-Trump trade. So Metalla is probably the best out of all of them. I know it came down a bit, but it's very, very good. So I'm just going to put this as your support. Resistance, well, it would have been there, but today we're probably going to close above resistance. I'll just put it in anyway. There you go. And then the resistance above, support below is completely correct. So I'll just put this as a little level. I don't know why I add the yellow because I've already done it with the white. Right, silver stocks. First Majestic did its job, right? It's strong because on the back of sort of buybacks and good news. So moved all the way up. Bam, Trump trade. Where did it find its support? It found its support around 640. Correct-ish. Like I had it there off by 2 or 3 cents. I can even delete this because the ascending support also acted perfectly. So that's still support. If we lose it, I have it for just below 6. And I don't think we're going down there. On the way up, this is your, yeah, completely correct. Resistance here, resistance there, support on that day. And to be honest, today acted as resistance. So completely correct. I'll leave it because I already bought it yesterday. Not the best day today, but still green. Maybe it's just the resistance is strong. Boom, boom, boom. Completely correct. Next one, Fortuna. What have I got here? I had the ascending. It went, well, it's gapped below it because everything was just crazy, but actually closed above it. So the ascending still counts. We also had this horizontal, so double support. I'll remove the horizontal, even though I think it played a small role. And then also down here, right? The low from this area, it happened to have touched that. For me, it did its job and it's still within the ascending. Not the strongest stock though. Today, look how much it's given back since it opened all the way down. That's not great. At least it's a green day so far. But this one, if the dollar and yields go back up, there's one or two. But this one, I expect it to go back down and test its low. So I'm going to leave these supports in. They will definitely come in handy. Um, if we move down, it's going to lose the ascending. I'm going to remove this ascending, and therefore I'm going to remove this. It did its job for the Trump trade. I don't need it as much. And actually, if I look at this a bit more, these three little candles are proving that this is resistance. So there you go. That'll do for Fortuna. It's all horizontals now. Next one is CDE, which is having great little move. So CDE, gap down, not too much for CDE, to be honest. Went back up, back into the ascending. Beautiful stuff. Today gapped up on good earnings. It's up like 6, 7, 8, 9%, the usual type of move for CDE. I would have said that this is resistance, and it was for yesterday. It filled the gap straight away, and today it probably would have gone back. No, it's an up day, up again because of earnings. I just feel like we're moving the ascending. It did its job yesterday, proved its strength. Now, where's your resistance? I don't know. Well, resistance is all the way up here if it can muster it. Okay, support is there. The gap is filled. It's new levels. Um, actually, wait. This is still a bit of a level. This is still a bit of a level, and today's high would be your resistance. It might take it out, but I think it won't. So you know what? It might take it out. I'll leave it. Otherwise, the high of day today will be resistance. That's what I've got. Just horizontals now. Very strong though. It's again another one that is above the pre Trump levels. So very nice, very, very nice CDE. That's back to being my best stock, I think. Heckler, oh, at low of day right now. This is the one I got at the low of day. And out of all the ones, it's probably the one I shouldn't have because it's going to revisit it. So, um, bad earnings, I think. I don't think they're as bad as people are making out, but the market is right and I'm wrong. So here's a level that's clear. Support, resistance. So that'll be a resistance. And it was yesterday. So that will stay there. Support was going to be yesterday's low of day. We might just close below it. Next level, 540. Resistance on the way up is here. Ooh, that'll be hard to take out with today's bad news. So I'm going to move a level lower there. Yeah, that kind of area is, oh, it's $7. $7. Yeah, that would be a level. Okay, so those are your levels on the way up. Going to take a lot to go back up there after so-called bad news. 540 and after that down here, I can't see us going down there, but bad earnings would do it with gold moving down and bad earnings just a few days ago. It can move all the way back down there. So those are all the levels for Heckler. That's a shame. EXK, perfect, just like SILJ. Low of day is a level, goes up. Well, Gapville would have been a level, but again, doesn't count anymore. Maybe that. There are too many levels. Get rid of that. There you go. So support, if we lose support, which I don't think is going to happen, it'll be the ascending, which will be very strong. No point in drawing the next ones. Resistance is today. I don't think we're going to go above that. Then the next one is 520. So 490, 520 and up here. Okay, that's good for me. Next is Mag Silver. Oof. It's a bit like Pan America. What a massive move. I don't even think I got this one. I'm not even sure if I tried. It's been very good, Mag Silver, compared to some of the other silver stocks, which is not something you can typically say. So it just, okay, opened there. To be honest, it did go low. It didn't exactly open and run yesterday. It opened, it flushed down, I guess, but it closed. I feel like the ascending is the real resistance here. You know, look, yesterday, the Trump day, it touches it, doesn't go above it. Today again, it touches it, doesn't go above it. So the ascending is your resistance. I also see these two little wicks that could add some extra resistance. Support is not going to be there. It was probably there yesterday, but it's going to be there now. Let's move that there. That's it. Very simple. Only 4 levels, 2 on the way down, 2-ish on the way up. Kind of there. That's it. Simple. Next one is Aris Mining. This one I chased yesterday. I think I got it at 428. Chased. Not the best, but actually, no, not at all. It's going to be down there again soon. So your support is roughly 418. This one's got a weak, a strange and wide bid-ask spread, so it's not going to be obvious, but let's say around 420 is your support. Your level of resistance, well, I can already see the gap fill today acted as a level, so let's respect that. That's around 444 or something. Next level, wow, there's something in between 440 and 480, but it's not too obvious for now, so I'll leave the obvious one in. If we do flush 420, then down we go to 380, etc. Next one, I am gold. This one I bought today, just before doing the video, because, and I wanted it yesterday at this level. Why did I buy this one? Because it's gone down a lot already. It's a super strong stock. And I just feel like, and it's also worth not enough. I sold a lot of it on the way up, so I just needed to just add some value to it. So level of support yesterday's low, also $5, big round number. After that, 465-ish. After that, the low down here. We're not going to go lower than that, I don't think. If we do, it'll be 380. That will be very hard to imagine. On the way up will be this level, 560, simply because of this. A bit of support there and resistance there. So I'll leave that. 580, very weak. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'll leave that as it is. Maybe there's something here too. I'll leave it. Leave it as it is. Looks generally correct. B2 gold. I had a level here, $3, round number, support there. Today also roughly support. We did flush 5 cents lower, but it's the same thing, so I'll leave that. I could even drop it to here. You could just drop it. After that, it's a low down here. You can see why. After that, it's the gap fill. We're not going to go lower than that. This descending, very, very important, but I might remove it now. It's not like I'm going to forget. We can use the horizontal. I'm going to move it down a bit. Let's call it 3. Ah, no, it's 350. Okay, 3 to 350. Otherwise, we've got these sort of 10, 20 cent increments on the way down. Very clear. I think it will find support at 3 and go back up. There's a bigger story here. Equinox, nice. This famous level, this $5, which acted as support quite a few times. Again, yesterday it kind of opened at 5 and ran, basically hit the gap fill immediately. Look at that, hit the gap immediately, and today continues. Very impressive. I think I can move this up to there actually now. Yeah, that'll be your very short-term resistance, 550-ish. And if we do lose that support, I think you've got this ascending that'll count. So we could find immediate support just below 5, around 480. Otherwise, yeah, 450. But it seems very, very strong. So I don't think there's a problem here. On the way up, you've got that. Okay, SSRM, bad news today. Missed earnings by quite a bit. Doesn't know when its Turkish mine is coming in. So that is not good news, especially with gold going down. But I've got the level. So one of them is where it is now. Let's see if it closes above it. It could still be a level. If it closes below this 535-ish level, this will be deleted tonight. And it won't be a level of support. Next one will be down here for 490-ish, and it could very well get there, especially if gold drops, and which it might do with dollar and yields going up. So gold, I think, will, medium long term go up, but if the dollar and yields keep going up, you could see a bit more pressure in gold, and eventually it will stabilize. But that's all it will take, maybe, for SSRM to make a lower low. But I do see 490 to be a level, and ultimately here, I don't see it going all the way back down to its, sub fours. I don't see that. This though will be a hard level to take out. Today's open, this level here, it's going to take a lot to go back up. But I've seen it happen. Plus the ascending support it just lost. So imagine in 2, 3, 4 days it starts to make its way back up. This, and it's $6, a big round number. That's huge resistance. Big round number, the horizontal and the ascending. Yeah, that'll do. SBSW, not really a pure gold stock, but that's done okay. Actually, there's your Trump gap down. It found a little support there. Mini support straight away. Pretty good for SBSW, which usually falls quite quickly. And it's already done a gap fill. Now it's trading below the gap fill. I'll let it run. I still think that tariffs, the debts, the deficits, also the economy reopening, all of this should be good for commodities. So I still think the price of commodities. So I still think medium and long term we go up. So I'll let this one run. This is a wild one. So I'll leave what I had in. All right, that'll do. That'll do. Let's see what happens. The end of week update, I'll take my time a lot more. I'll look at the other stocks that I haven't covered in several days or weeks now. These other ones here, the Eldorados. Um, I've neglected them a bit, and I'll take my time and just go through everything a bit more precisely. But that's a quick roundup intraday of all things. So good luck out there and see you soon.